What's up with you, man?
You got it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to King Shit Talk. I am your host, Salid, and I want to thank you all for joining me on another Thursday on this warm and beautiful day in July. Um, we had hot topics on last week, and I normally do hot topics once a month, but we're doing hot topics again on this week because there's a lot of hot stuff to talk about. Now, I don't know if we're gonna get to all the hot stuff that I planned on talking about, but we gonna see what happens. Now, instead of my boy Southside Dre and Kia D being on this week, the magnificent Mark is still here, and we got Kev from Smooth Saturdays on too. And Layla should be popping in at some point, hopefully, and also have Tracy that's gonna chime in a little bit if she gets a chance to. How you guys doing this evening?
Yo, what up, man? What's going on?
I'm smooth like Saturdays, baby.
Yes, sir. Now, what? Now, tell the people real quick what that is behind you, Mark. I know what it is, but tell the people what Brown Roots is.
So Brown Roots is my podcast. I think it's thank you for letting me put that up there. Brown Roots is my podcast. I do a podcast every 2 weeks. We start back up in October, but we're trying to talk about the roots in the black and brown community and some of the stuff that doesn't get talked about, the hard conversations, being essayed in your family and still sitting across from them on Thanksgiving, men's emotions, fatherhood issues. So just a range of conversations that I think we need to have back to our roots.
Yes, sir. And it's a wonderful podcast too, y'all. So go check that out when you get a chance. And some of those, one of those hard conversations that need to be had is let's talk a little bit about Miss Carlee Russell. Now, I saw a whole lot going on with Carlee Russell from the first day he was said to be missing up until present day. And most of what I saw was a lot of prayer going on, a lot of nervousness, a lot of fear, a lot of speculations, a lot of things. And I sat back and just took it all in. I didn't really give my opinion on what was going on because some stuff just didn't line up to me. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't want to voice those at the time because I didn't want anybody to come up and be like, "Oh, every time a black woman, goes missing, nobody protects her, or nobody does this, and nobody does that." And so now that it has come out that she possibly told a field.
Allegedly.
Now, yeah, she allegedly told a field how quickly things have shifted, and it turned from love to straight, basically burner at the stake. And I'm like, oh my goodness, is to see that flip doesn't surprise me, but it does turn a side eye. What do you guys feel about the Carlee Russell situation? We'll start with you, Kev, because I know Mark's gonna jump off.
Well, I'm about 80% in with the details. I'm not like, a lot of people know a lot, but I don't know a lot. I kind of be hearing bits and pieces. But what I feel overall is she tried some type of little operation and it went south on her. And just like everybody else, it was a bunch of prayers going out and a bunch of, oh my God, that could have been me. Like, it was a bunch of prayers and worry for this young lady. And now that allegedly she could have been fibbing about it to try to, to try to pull some operation off, especially since the police were involved. So yeah, it blew up big or whatever. So a lot of people kind of want justice for her, wasting their time, prayers and crying. I knew people like my sister-in-law was saying that she was up crying, like thinking like, oh my God, like I really hope she get, it was a big deal to people. People really was real deal worried about this woman. and for her to just be making this up, my personal opinion, she might need 365. They might or some probate. She gotta pay for wasting taxpayers' dollars. Just even if it's some probation, because we gotta let people know you can't be doing this. This is serious. That was really serious, and she played with people's time, man. That ain't how that. Hey, I get it. She tried to pull something off. It went south, but that ain't the move, man. That ain't how she should be doing things. But that's all I got on it.
Man, I've heard people saying they want their prayer back. Now I don't know how you're gonna get a prayer back, but it's people so mad, bro. They so mad. They talking about I wasted my prayer time, and one woman was like she had her grandmother put her on the prayer list at church, and now she upset because I spent time praying. I'm like, come on, yo. Just because the girl probably lied, that doesn't mean that every action that was taken before the lie was in vain. Well, not in vain, but couldn't have been done. Now, as far as the cops and stuff go, that's a bit much. But people praying for folks, hey, she still need prayer. She still
no, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna go with Juicy Smoothie on this one. I'm going with Juicy Smoothie on this one. She sounds just like him. I think for the start of it, we all have to say, as African Americans, I saw a baby on the side of the road, and I decided to stop. Come on. That right there. Soon as
I knew something was up with that, though.
How slow are you going? How slow are you going to see the baby on the side of the road at night? Now, I live in Alabama, so I feel a different kind of way. I've actually been on this highway, so I feel a different kind of way. There is no way in the world. First of all, I'm just take me. If a baby makes it down to this highway, that baby deserves to be on Survivors. Okay.
Did y'all see the meme? They say this is the baby.
Right. Look at. Okay. Do you see? Okay, go put that back up, Kev. Do you see all that foliage in the back? If a baby made it through that to get to the highway, bruh, I'm gonna just let the baby walk.
Yeah.
And I'm saying no more. But Mark, how is a baby? And she said the baby looked like it was about 3 years old. Now, what 3-year-old do you know that can walk on a highway and stay in a straight line walking toward the exit for that long? What they say, 60 yards?
How did she feel comfortable stopping with the baby on the side? Where are you at in your car? Most of us have seen something on the side of the road we want to pick up, or we got to help a friend off the side of the road. You either stop way before the baby or way after the baby. But if your eyesight to be able to see this baby is that right there is a crock. But let's just say there is a baby. The dude kidnapped her and made her climb the fence. Like, bro, listen, do you know what kind of kidnapper you got to be for you to tell me to climb the fence? Do you
But see, I didn't even understand that part. What you mean? What fence? Because I didn't even. I heard that, but I didn't even really understand what she was talking about with that climb the fence thing.
Hey, all you gotta do is be one with a gun for me to climb the fence. That's what.
Bro, no, you. Okay, you got out. They had the baby. The whole story. She climbed the fence. She saw he had orange hair with a bald spot.
Yeah.
Didn't see the woman. Got put in the back of an 18-wheeler. Now, here's the thing. She got away. But they abducted her right back. But not put her back in the 18-wheeler this time. They put her in the car that was trailing the 18-wheeler, I guess, because that's what but they didn't tie her up. They just blindfold. Man, this is a whole ending. Let's just say this. All is true. She doesn't know if she was physically assaulted. She doesn't know if she doesn't know if she was touched. Listen.
Man.
There's a lot of stuff you can do, but what you can't do is you can't touch me on my body in the last 4 days and I forget.
She didn't get to that. She didn't draw that part of the story out. That's why she just said she don't know.
Well,
it
Lord,
was
I don't know.
to me what was disturbing is as soon as I heard about it, I instantly felt like, okay, they're never going to find her, because that's just the history of how it goes, especially with us. You know what I mean? And even other people that end up missing it. It is very rare that you will get snatched.
You have two black women who have just gone through this. You got Brittany Griner, who was actually, I don't want to say taken, but she was confined. She was about to be in prison unfairly. And then you have the lady, Miss Robinson down in Mexico, who doesn't make it back. So the problem for me is stories like this that, excuse me, it's stories like this that make it questionable when women tell their story. And here's my shameless plug. This is what makes me go back and say somebody needs to revisit the case of Megan Thee Stallion, because she was shot in the feet and 2 weeks later she was twerking. Some of these things, just if you sprain your ankle, you don't want to wear regular shoes, let alone be twerking in high heels. So I think it's stories like these that make it hard for women later down the line when they come along and says, hey, I was abducted. I was held against my will. And then you look at her phone and she Googling taken.
Or at least it's gonna make you, because when you heard about that, it's like let's send our forces, let's get this woman found. So now it might hold up the process. Now we might be like, hold up, let's make sure this isn't one of these. And
we run our phone records before we send out the police.
Right. Now we got to do all this stuff. Right.
Which makes it, if it's really the case,
right,
it now really makes that person get touched. It makes it that person really be missing. But the way she came back, she came back. She'd escaped these kidnappers twice. You know what I mean? Like, you should have never been. They should have. How do you get targeted? And I'm saying that because Angelina Jolie would have been the first person to the side of the road. What color is the baby on the side of the road? Because if it's a white baby, you know, 1 million calls went in. If it's a black baby, Angelina Jolie was right there before you got there. So I don't know how you got to be the baby saver. I'm just saying.
Didn't they say that the police did a search and saw that there were no missing babies in the area?
No missing babies. Like there was not an Amber Alert for the baby first. Let's just say there should have been an Amber Alert for the baby, and then there would have been an Amber Alert for the baby hero.
Pretty much what she did was whatever her goal was. I heard that she was trying to buy some time to sneak away with somebody or something like that. But first of all, you got to have all your I's dotted, your T's crossed to pull off an operation like this. And she took it too lightly. She was like, I'm gonna do this and get away with it.
What's her name? She's like Tiger Woods. You can't use your real phone, buddy. You can't use burner phones. You can't.
It's a lot of stuff that she wasn't trained on doing to pull this off.
I heard. See, when you are just in general a toxic mindset, doesn't think logically most of the time.
Right.
When you doing stuff that's backwards, you gonna slip up somewhere.
No, wait, hold on. King. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you diminish toxicity like that. I'm not gonna let you lump her in because she is not toxic. Nobody toxic people want to do stuff to get back at you. This woman is deranged. Bro, I ain't never been toxic enough to get abducted. Not abducted. Not the planet.
Have have you heard the things that's attached to the why? I've heard
Right. Her boyfriend cheated with a
two different
stripper.
things. I've heard that she was getting back at the boyfriend. Yeah. So if you doing some stuff like that just to get back at a boyfriend for cheating, that's toxic. I've heard that I've heard that she was at a motel with her sister's boyfriend, and that's why she was gone. That's toxic.
So okay, here's the thing. If I guess what I'm saying, I would say deranged, because toxic is, I don't think toxic involves the national scale of it. You know, that's what I'm saying. The part that I don't want you to. There are people who are still toxic. You said what?
So you think it's beyond toxic?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't make the people who are toxic think that they got to step their game up. She did the most.
Yeah,
she did the most.
She's crazy. It ain't toxic.
Yeah, she deranged. She's deranged. Toxic people do stuff like bust you, like Amber Heard. They crap in your bed, or they, you know, take pictures of you with their exes, or follow you around. Getting abducted. If me and my girl was breaking up and she gets kidnapped, what do I care? I mean, it's like, whew. Now I gotta really.
If you take the abducted part out of it, it can still be toxic. Like
if you take the abducted part, she took it to sleeping with somebody, stealing from your job, but getting abducted.
Yeah.
Wait a second, abducting yourself. If she really would have got abducted, then she could have just been toxic. But to abduct yourself and bring a little baby into it,
that might be toxic. She just took it to another level. She tried to cover up what she was doing.
Did y'all see Dave Chappelle? Dave Chappelle said, "I saw a baby standing on the corner. I was like, click, click." I'm just not for a baby.
But how true is the theft of the robe and the Cheez-Its, and I think they said toilet paper too? Was there any truth to that? Did she really steal that, and money from the job or something?
The thing is, they said she had several $100s in her sock still when she came like to her, when they got her. Bro, listen, clearly she's from the suburbs, clearly, because she don't know how this thing go down. If she from the hood, she know that she not going back home. She going home naked and not with her socks. Especially,
it would have been different. A hood woman would have handled that all different.
Yeah, she know how to be abducted. You got to come back. She had a busted lip, like you've been abducted, and I'm saying this, and she's a good, decent looking woman. So to come back unscathed, that she has the most noble abductees, no ransom. First of all, they're horrible. They let her escape twice.
Bro,
they didn't even tie her up. They just blindfolded her. They trusted her.
Yeah, they trusted her. Those were some honorable abductees.
Yeah, that's when they say no honor among thieves. This is crazy. She did the most, and I'm disappointed. I'm not disappointed in the story she created. I'm disappointed in her lack of details when it came to the story.
Because that's a different type of animal. If you're gonna do this, you gotta have this all the way planned out. But do y'all think she deserves time? Y'all think she deserves some time in jail?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
She needs at least a year and a day. She needs to do
a year and a day. No, she needs to be abducted. The truth is, I think she really needs to be abducted.
I think she needed to serve a year in the federal penitentiary.
No, just abduct her. Really abduct her this time.
It depends on now if they do a mental evaluation and it comes back that she's sane, then yeah, she needs to go to jail.
No, she's definitely she
needs to go to jail. Period. I'm pretty sure she has a high school diploma. She has a job. She got plenty of sense.
No,
so she needs to spend some time in jail.
There's the reason why the story doesn't go together because she is sane.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've seen people who have had more harm being abducted by aliens. That's all I'm saying. They at least got probed, and they knew they got probed. She don't know if she got.
Lakina,
let me say this.
Yeah, you blindfolded with your hands untied. So her hands was untied, but she was blindfolded.
It sounded like she was on some half Christian Grey shit. She got in the room and got nervous about the whole Christian Grey experience. It was like, no, just leave the blindfold. Nah, that her whole wrist would have been jail time.
However, she needs to pay for services rendered. She'll never be able to pay it. All the money, resources, and all that.
Yes, like you can't do that. You can't call and set up nothing false. That's like me calling saying like somebody robbing his bank or somebody.
It's a felony. You got false police reporting is a felony.
You got to go to jail. You can't just get don't do it again. You got to go to jail.
I'm a different animal.
What do they call that when you call the SWAT teams? It's a name for it, and you send them to somebody's house.
They were doing that. It's a story on Netflix or something where they sent that to somebody's house and they killed somebody. They actually killed somebody. I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're saying. You can't do that. You going to federal penitentiary.
Listen, I think on the way to court, on the way to her arraignment, I think some people should jump out and actually abduct her and show her what that shit is really like, and then she'll know what she really got herself into.
She might be happy about that though, because she ain't going to jail. They're taking her somewhere.
I'm saying she don't need a year. She needs some real.
Tiki said she needs to hire Jesse Smollett's lawyer.
Yeah, just Juicy Smouye. I put up a meme that said, "I believe her," because Juicy's story now seems plausible when it comes to her. It's the baby.
In the beginning, though, his stuff, the story that he came up with, even though it was a lie, it can happen. You know what I mean?
He paid people to make it happen. Yeah, he paid people to make it happen. Yeah, I'm just saying, it's the baby. Was it a deer, bro? I thought it was a deer, bro.
If I'm her, I'll hire a lawyer. I'll try to hire one of the best. Maybe they'll get her away with saying she was going through a lot. She's halfway crazy. Maybe they're gonna give her something though. I think she's gonna serve some time in jail, get some community service out.
Pull that comment back up.
I think she gonna do some time. Yeah, Vonnie said my mommy heart is like no jail time. I do recognize she made a false report. That mommy heart gonna see her have some jail time, Vonnie.
Yeah, send us some money. Send us some money to put some money on her books.
Vonnie, I'm gonna refer you to a guy named TikTok Terry. TikTok Terry, and he has this song, and he says something about these kids. I don't know what he says, but if you go read TikTok Terry or listen to his song, he says something about these kids, and we gotta, we stand 10 toes down for them, and then we gotta F them kids. This kid right here, throw the book at her, lock her up. She takes away from if something were to happen to you, Vonnie. That's my thought. If you have daughters, if you have nieces, if you have sisters, this discredits the community. If y'all say protect us, we'll protect you, but you can't cry wolf and ask for protection.
Help is already
and expect so much forgiveness too, though.
Right.
So you ask for protection, you ask for help, and you want forgiveness by abusing that, by putting a false report. Now, you know what? I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to do that. My story ain't work out. Y'all, let's get on back to your regular scheduled program and move on. No, you are going to pay for this. Like, she's going to have to pay for this.
The problem is, I think a part of our problem is we are too close to religion on this. We love to forgive without change of action. And for me personally, you not gonna get no forgiveness until you change your behavior. So she gotta be a whole a whole new person before she even can approach the public and say, hey, you know what, I did wrong. Right now, she needs to go ahead and lay in that horrible bed of thorns that she created. She needs to pay the system. They need, while that we say we do us the worst, they need to make a public display of her right there. That right there, she needs a public flogging. Everybody who does, to me, her and anybody who does publicly or misrepresents the to me, she's no different than Emmett Till right now. What's the lady who reported Emmett Till? They're no different. Her and if you publicly lie like that and you get people on edge and things happen, y'all deserve public floggings. She deserves to be tarred and feathered.
Because regardless, go ahead.
There's a big difference with what she did and what that lady did as far as Emmett Till goes.
Why? Yeah, it was a difference. However, you can't really, because you don't know what action can come.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Unfortunately, Emmett Till ended up dying. But what if somebody ended up getting hurt from what she did? She still did the action. And also think about this.
Go ahead.
She has to pay something because what would that make somebody else say? Oh, shoot, I can call and do it. She ain't getting nothing.
Think about the people who see a dude with an orange hair and a bald spot. They ready to go off.
Exactly. So what if an innocent person get killed? What if an innocent person would have got killed?
I totally get it. But here's the difference. With her, we're talking about a bunch of what ifs. With Emmett Till, he actually died.
She still did the action, though. She still did committed the action.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree. Both of them lied, but we can't say what if.
Oh, Kev,
actually happened.
I know.
I get what you're saying. It's like because if something happens, right here, then they have to pay for what happened, and nothing happened. Nobody got hurt in this. But I'm saying
what got going on right here.
Still committed the action.
Physically. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Kev, here, you know what we getting out of King right now?
What up?
One sin is greater than the other.
Yeah, to me.
So you saying?
I believe so.
Nah, bruh. Nah.
I believe so.
You know what? I'm in the middle because I gotta agree with you, King. It's like if I go rob somebody's house with armed robbery, I'm gonna go to jail. But if I go in there and shoot up and kill some people, the crime's gonna be harsh. But if I go in there and shoot and don't kill nobody, the crime is gonna be less harsh.
Except for here's the problem for me, and this is why I say you can't, because the trauma, the angst, and all of that sometimes is worse than the actual shot. You know what I'm saying? So to me, her putting everybody, the nation, on alert after. And she's playing in the realm of the nation saying, if you think about this for 1 second, Brittany Griner gets gone, Megan Thee Stallion gets shot, the young lady down in Mexico gets unalive, and now this woman gets abducted. She's playing in the circle of protect Black women with a prank. Not just I was, a whole everything. I mean, I'm not gonna say everything is a lie, but 99.9% of it is a lie. 99.9% of this is a lie in the middle of trying to reestablish the community, rebuild the bond, and get the boys in blue to protect our community.
I agree. She got to get something. But at
that's
the
why
end
I
of
said
the day,
it's to me, it's Emmett Till level by lying. Not
right.
No.
I ain't gonna quite say that. But from her falsifying things now she never called the police and somebody else may have did it. That's one thing. She got the law involved. Now
she didn't call the police.
Who called the police? So the law was involved, right?
Right, because she was on the phone with her sister-in-law, and when she didn't come home, that's what I'm saying. The stuff she did, the people around her, the community, Hoover is not an area where people of our color get priority. So for Hoover to respond the way they did says that they are literally taking a step forward. They're literally taking a step to say, no, we got you. So to me, the scale of which it was, this wasn't just like no 1 day, 2 day thing. Y'all done heard about this all over the country. You know what I'm saying? This is out. People really looking for her. That's not that. You got people who have been traumatized.
But hold on, Mark. She did call the cops, though. I heard the 911 recording.
No, I'm saying she called the police about the baby, but the police was later called about the. She just wanted advice on the baby, and they told her hard-headed ass to stay in the goddamn car and no, get grand.
She couldn't stay in the car when it gets her plane.
But I gotta go back to this because I so strongly disagree with
the Emmett Till.
With the Emmett Till thing.
Bro.
Hey, I agree with you too.
Only because that Emmett Till thing sparked a fire that got more than just Emmett Till involved. It was a lot of black people that got beat up, that got doggone doors kicked in, and all of that stuff.
Right, and so this is what I'm saying. There's a lot of black people. Okay, the only reason why, I can go with you to being the murder, but short of that, you have a lot of women who heard this and went into depression because another one of us, her parents was devastated. I mean, no,
that's another thing I wanted to. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. Do you feel like, and we're gonna jump back to this one too, but do you feel like her parents really thought that she was abducted like we thought it? Yes. Or do you think they kind of know their child and kind of felt some type of way too?
No,
I think at first they did. Then maybe they got a whiff of something or a phone call and they kind of got, man, she done dug herself in a deep hole. That's not really what happened. Now let's try to do the best we can to smooth things so she don't get in trouble. I think at first they did, though.
I think her coming home changed their heart. But you a mad parent, you go from to me, you got in a car accident. I told you not to take the car. It was a crash. To now, you was drinking, and so this what you did to cover up drinking and driving. I mean, I think that's the way they did but the way her mom and dad did that interview, their heart was really broken. Like there's no way if they're in on it too, then they need to go to jail. But the way they showed face on social media when they did their little news thing, there's no way nobody could. Somebody could tell me my daughter is gone.
Let's compare it to the Emmett Till thing. Let's take what happened out of both situations away. How do you compare the stories then? That the action or the infraction happened, but you take what happened away. How do you compare the stories then?
And that's what I'm
about the Emmett Till story.
And that's what I'm saying. My heart is broken. I'm angry at her. This is what I'm saying. She is just like the lady. You have put the whole family at risk. That's what I'm saying. For me, it's not the outcome, it's the actual action, not the intent or none of that. Action.
It's the action.
The action is so egregious.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Mark and Kev both. On the lines of fabricating stories, do you think, and I'm asking this because we talk about the one sin not greater than the other topic. Do you think that when a woman or a man lies on their partner and gets them arrested and things, do all of those sit in the same boat?
Yes. For me, every woman who has lied about child support, who's lied about being sexually assaulted, who's lied about, being whatever. Every man who is, I think that when you get the police involved and the real story comes out, like Kanye West said, found out on the 18th birthday that the kid ain't yours. On that day, she needs to do jail time and things of that nature. Now, I get it if you go in knowing that this ain't your kid and then you have a change of heart. Hey, buddy, that's how we all feel. The day before that kid is born, I wanted to change my heart, but I can't. I'm stuck with it. So if you go in knowingly and change your heart, that's one thing. But if you are tricked into taking care of a kid, thinking it's yours, just to later find out it's not yours because somebody lied, they ought to do jail time.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna say I disagree with that because they have DNA tests so you can go find out. If you have doubt, you can't just take nobody's word for you saying, "Oh, this your kid." Okay, I believe you. You can say, "Hey, okay, I got you," but you got to grow a pair and say, "Let's go, get a test or whatever."
Yeah, the only reason why I say that is because a lot of fathers have signed the birth certificate under the assumption that the kid is his because you're in the hospital. The problem with the law is if you sign the birth certificate, whether you are or not the father, you have just signed the agreement. If you sign that,
what if the mother doesn't know? That's
the problem, and that's what I'm saying. It to the court, it doesn't matter no more.
Right, I understand. Yeah. But if you tell me when the kid is 14 or 18, hey, you know what? Now let's get. You should have said, "Let's go get it," because the test ain't gonna lie to you. She might lie to you, or she may tell you and not really know the truth because she really don't want that smoke.
See, there's two cloudy places in the law on that. Is one
go get a test.
Yeah, but if you sign that paper so if you're in the hospital right now and you've been with her for a minute and you think the kid is yours, she tell you the kid is yours. See, that's the other problem. If she's done some tipping out and ain't told you, what would alarm you other than her telling you that this ain't your kid?
I mean, I get it, but if she don't know, I'm sure that happens all the time. She's not gonna say, "Hey, listen, maybe it ain't yours," and find out it is. She's not gonna open up that can of worms. Yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong. But you can go get a test to cover that up, though.
But if you're gonna get tested, and which I think you should regardless, but if you're gonna get tested, you better darn sure do it before you sign that darn birth certificate.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
If you sign that birth certificate first, it ain't gonna matter what that test say. You just took it upon yourself to be responsible.
That's what I'm saying. If she ain't been honest with you, like right now, let's just say I meet a woman, we date for a year or two. Next thing you know, she's pregnant. I'm thinking it's mine. What would alarm me to go do that? That's what I'm saying. Nothing. So now
I'm gonna say she should have told you. So now we're gonna charge her. It ain't gonna. They're gonna say just like I'm saying, "Sir, Mr. Patrick, you should have got a test."
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. She needs to go to jail for that because if
that ain't. Gonna,
but that's what I'm saying. That's what
because she might not even know, and she gonna, even if she knows for a fact that it ain't yours, she probably gonna say it is, but she may not even know. So.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. That lie right there deserves jail time.
But that ain't gonna never happen.
No, we're not gonna get that. But if in my world, in the world I create, you go to jail for lies like that. But to
answer your question though, I do feel like, and I'm not downplaying domestic violence or anything, women getting raped or anything. I'm not downplaying that. However, for those cases that they found out, even when minors, it might be a 16-year-old girl said that somebody did something, and they take her word for it, and that guy ends up going to jail or whatever, and they find out she was lying, domestic violence, rape, anything. Now, I do feel like that woman or whoever lied deserves the same time that it was going to give that man. Because if you just downplay it and you like, "Oh, well, you caught me, let's go on about our married lives." No, because that guy was going to get sentenced some time just off your word. So, yeah, I do agree with that now.
But do you know the majority of the time what happens though is they might let dude out and then the woman or whoever lied there are no repercussions.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, dang, I almost had them. Now I can go on about my merry way. No, because there's people doing time right now off somebody lying. So I feel like if we pump up the volume on somebody lying and they get that same time, they'll think twice. Well, if I ain't got all my T's crossed, I bet not do this, because if they find out I'm lying, I'm getting that time. And then we might minimize that a little bit, because that ain't fair.
I think we should be more like, ideally in my grand scheme of things, I think we should do like Japan. Everybody should pay some fault, get some charge in everything we do. If we start putting, so like if you get in a car, somebody hit your parked car and you still get a ticket because you had a car, we'd be a little more careful. I think the problem is in America, we're a no-fault litigation state. We're always trying to dodge accountability and fault. Well, I didn't intend to do it. Well, you still did it. And so I think the problem is if we start splitting up some of this accountability, I think a lot of these actions would come down. My son drowned in the pool. There was no lifeguard. Well, ma'am, you stuck in the pool after the lifeguard was there. If you get some time for sneaking in, they may get it for not having the lifeguard, but you get some time for doing that, you stop carrying your ass out and doing stuff.
Yeah, you're talking.
Let's go back to the car though. So you saying if you get hit, you get a ticket, and the person that hit you get a ticket?
Yes, absolutely.
And you get the ticket just because you own a car.
If you didn't own a car, guess what wouldn't have happened that day?
See, I'm parking way in the back. But to your point though, that's unfair in my opinion. But to your point, I bet you got so many careful people running around here.
I bet you
it's gonna be very slim accidents.
Exactly.
What you gonna have is everybody on bicycles, just like China.
Or y'all were talking the other night about if you get your license within the first year, if you're in an accident at all, it's your fault. See, that'll make me say, son, you're gonna get your license, but you're gonna be on this bicycle for the first year because you ain't driving at all.
But so the thing is this: when you know that you have a chance of getting something, two things. One, you start to think, how worth it is it? And two, how careful was I? And if we can get people to be more accountable for what a criminal breaks in your house and sues you for cutting himself on the glass, and you got to pay. Okay, that's unfair to the criminal. But if y'all both got to pay because y'all both did wrong, people will stop doing stuff. The problem is one person can get away with it all while the other person has no repercussions, and it excites people to follow in suit. There's a lady who just won years ago. Somebody gets burned at McDonald's for coffee. A lady just won $700,000 for her kid getting burned with some chicken nuggets. 800,000 for you didn't blow your goddamn kids chicken nuggets. That's bad parenting.
But the nugget, they said the nugget failed and got
out the box.
The legs.
Right, but so the hot nuggets jumped out the box, fell between her legs, and you deserve. See, this is what I'm saying. We are.
You got almost $1 million for it.
Right.
You got almost $1 million for that.
I heard some years ago it had somebody got burnt by some coffee and it didn't have caution hot on the cup.
Right.
So, and I don't like that personally because now people's gonna be reaching for some stuff. I seen on the news yesterday that somebody, I'm not sure where it was bungee jumping, and the parachute didn't deploy, and obviously that whoever was strapped to the back and that child, it was like an 18-year-old or something like that. Obviously, they both died. They got awarded. I'm like, how does this company even have this much money? They got awarded $40 million. And I'm like, if I'm a company, I'm sure I got that in the fine print. You know what I'm saying? We might could come up with something, but you ain't gonna rate my whole company.
But see, that you got insurances for those high risk endeavors. But here's the problem, and this is why I say I want both parties to do it. Everybody, y'all remember we used to go to the movie for $7. All this piracy and bootlegging got the movie tickets to $27 for a matinee. I'd be like, I don't even catch movies no more. I'd be like, I catch the replays. I listen to all the YouTubes, and I didn't watch the movie because I can't afford to go to the movies. Why? Because we have so one-sided these businesses and taking. If we all start getting a little bit of the pie or getting a little bit of the accountability when it came to it, we would stop this stuff. You wouldn't allow your friends to steal. Pretend this or imagine this. Imagine your homeboy got caught cheating on his wife and got a divorce, and you had to pay some of that alimony. Like, you better straighten up, buddy. He's married. He's married. He don't do none of this because that's the problem.
Let's do whatever we have to do to keep Mark out of any doggone building where he can change some laws and stuff like. I'll be darned if I'm gonna have to help pay alimony just because my friend don't know how to be faithful to his wife. No,
but if you are a friend and that's his wife, why not help him do the right thing?
Hey, maybe I will. Maybe I will.
Do is voice. But I ain't yeah, all you can do is voice. Hey, bro, you shouldn't. Da, da, da.
Yeah, but if you do that your voice was gonna end up costing your pocket. You would put a little more in your voice. You put some pause on it. Hey, boy, if you don't stop it.
You know what'll start happening? I'm going to tell you what's going to start happening, Kev. We're going to have a country of no automobiles, and we also going to have a country of no friends at all. Everybody going to start just not associating with people.
But I can marriages will last.
For what you do away from me.
RICO. That's the RICO law. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be RICO divorces.
Vonnie said define friend. That's the problem. That term means different things to people. You're absolutely right. That does mean different things. And Lakina said, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Miss Hill said, I think anyone that lies should get the time the guilty person would have got. I can agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. Or okay, let's not say you have to do it in child. If you lie on child support, you got to pay all that back. Something has to happen.
What do you mean by lying on child support? Like say that the child is involved in certain things, and
I'm saying if you said the child was his and it wasn't, and he found out later, then you have to pay all that back.
I believe that if the woman knew, if they could prove,
that's what I'm saying. If she knows,
how you gonna ever prove that somebody knew something?
There's
if them jokers can go back and look at doggone phone logs and stuff like that.
If you can prove it like that, right?
If they look at text messages and be like she was dealing with another dude and stuff at the same time and knew it was a possibility and didn't say nothing. T said Mark and Charleston White would be best friends.
That's not fair. I'm just saying. I also believe that parents who do stuff, if your kid shoots up a school, you ought to go to jail with your son. If your kid,
it depends.
What about somebody that works hard every day and they can't help but society raising their kid because they at work all the time? You do your best to raise your child and they just go astray. So they shoot up a school. The parent need to go to jail too.
Well, if you was working hard, who bought the gun? Somebody bought the gun. Somebody bought the gun.
If you do not teach your children gun safety, how to properly handle a gun, and all these other things are not done, and you leave weapons out, and you sense or you see some of the stages that they go through before they snap, and you do nothing about it, then there should be some accountability there. But if you go into work and you honestly know nothing, and your child go do something, and you locked up with your doggone child, come on.
Let me say it this way: if I'm an honest parent, ain't no work hard enough to keep. That's what I'm saying. Bro. In this, no, you're not.
It's just. So what parent gonna send their kid out? I feel like the only way a parent should go to jail as well with their kid is if they were some type of affiliate with it. I can prove that this parent sent this kid there. or they bought the
Or they
gun
were
for
negligent.
this kid to go do this, or
The
they
kid
were
ain't got a
an
job.
accomplice. If they were an accomplice, they drove the kid there. But that's
So
that's
So
that's
Kev,
that's the law.
the kid ain't got money for a job.
Okay.
So I bought the gun. I bought the ammunition.
Maybe you did. Okay. So
For bad parenting of not locking up my gun, not monitoring my kid, not being able to keep that behavior under wraps, I can't keep deferring and say, well, I had to work so hard. Your first job as a parent is to work on these kids. So to me, I got to quit my job. My kid is unruly.
sometimes stuff happens, bro. So now I got to quit my job. So I can't feed him because I got to watch him all day.
And if you can't feed him, he too weak to walk to the school and shoot somebody. So good job, parent.
Well, then you go to jail for not there and feed the child. But
no, I feed him. I'm saying you can feed him.
Let me tell you this, Mark. I saw a movie last night, and it was similar to what you're talking about. This guy had a son who was depressed, getting bullied, all of that, right? His son was 15, 16 years old. And the boy, his dad tried to connect with him. So he took him on a camping trip. The boy tells him, Dad, I have a friend who wants to go stay in Alaska for 2 months. I really want to do this because I'm tired of being so angry all the time, right? The dad said, if you can be good and we go on this trip, I'll give you the $4,000 to go to Alaska. And when you come back, just promise me you're going to go into therapy. The son was like, yeah, Dad, I promise. Boom, boom, boom. He gets the $4,000. Dad is at work. Dad is a neurosurgeon. While he's at work, the boy takes the $4,000 and go buy some AK-47s. No, AR-15s. Went and bought some AR-15s and went to the school and shot it up, right? After he shot it up, he committed suicide. The dad was put on trial because they were trying to say what you said. They say, hey, if you knew your son was depressed, you knew that it was a possibility that he could do something. So they had him on trial trying to hold him accountable. Now, they didn't find him guilty, but that's the same marriage. So you think the father, the neurosurgeon, should have went and did time for what the son did?
I think he should have got punished. But here's what you just said in the story that made it plausible for me. If you can be good, go to therapy when you get back. To hell with that. Go to therapy now. Be good, and then I'll get. That's what I'm saying. I think a problem in our society. I think all of us are old enough to know that we had to show and comply with these regulations of the household, or you had to get out. You gonna follow my rules.
If he raising his kid the way you saying he should raise him, he wouldn't have that problem in the first place.
That's
because you saying that he should be Superman of a dad, which sometimes it don't work that way. And I don't see that wrong.
I don't think you should be Superman. I think you should be involved. I think we can be a little more involved.
That's involvement to me. He may not be the perfect dad, but he said, I'm going to send you on this trip. He may have very well felt like his kid needed that. He needs to take this trip. But son, when you get back, you know what? We're going to go to therapy. All parents can't afford to do that. And
in the story, he gave him $4,000.
Because according to this story, according to this story, the son had been to therapy twice in the past. He had went through 2 therapists in the past year. So they had already tried. The dad was just pulling at straws. He like, what can I do to help my son? He was trying everything. Right.
And so I think there's always what I want to say, not the regular, what do you call it? The exception to the rule. I think there's always exceptions to the rule. But again, I think one of my issues is that if we start making parents, we don't have, see, the thing is we didn't used to have to make parents accountable. Parents were just accountable. Parents used to be just accountable. But nowadays, you got girls out here fighting girls. You got all of this stuff going, and the parent, oh, I couldn't do nothing. Keep the daddy at the home. I don't know what you got to do. I don't know what the situation or the solution is to solve it. But I'm saying if these were some of the consequences because you couldn't solve it, it'd be a lot less pregnancies, a lot more we at home together because we're going to have to gun insurance. I think there are some ways you can do these things to make society be more accountable. You know why a lot of us don't rob banks? Because we don't think we can get away with it. If we knew that our kids fighting and shooting up places would get us in trouble, we would be a little more cautious and vigilant about that.
But a little bit more what though? Coming from the core of working with the kids I work with kids in high school. I see it all the time. And I could truly say, Mark, you coming from you're describing a perfect world. We're far from that. Like people try to, I talk to parents every day. They come to school, they call my office, they're crying about their kids, pleading like, please help me, I'm doing everything I can. Are they perfect parents? Of course they're not. I don't know one that is. But at the same time, bro, you got parents that are really trying to provide for their kids, take care of their kids, and do whatever they can. But sometimes society get a hold to these kids and it's over with. They're going to do what they want to do.
I agree. Here's the thing, Kevin. That doesn't work for people who already got kids now. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is it slows down. It stops the rampant reproduction. It stops the wayward fathers and parenting and loose mothers. I think what it does is it reels in some of the lost standards and expectations of being parents. When you say parents right now are out trying to survive and they're trying to do this and they're trying to, but when you realize I got to be at home and we don't need the internet, me and you got to do this. I think the thing is, if parents were more active, we would have less of this. If parents practiced the two household more, then we would have less of this. I think the rule doesn't apply for the kids who are like 19, 16, 16 to 19 now. But if you knew starting in 2025 that if you had a kid and your kid did some stuff and you had to be responsible for it, I think there'd be a lot less births in 2025. I'm just about my theory.
And you know what else is going to happen? It's going to be a whole lot of doggone high anxiety and depression as well for those that do have the children. Can you imagine what you going to be thinking about if you at work and you there think, oh, I wonder if my child doing something right now that I'm going to be going to prison for. Oh, I wonder if my child's stealing something I'm going to have to pay for.
Right,
because you can't see everything. No matter how good of a parent you are, you cannot be there 24 hours a day. You can't.
Right. And I also disagree with not having kids. Two things people gonna do that got a lot of time that ain't got the right mentality is fighting and fornicating. You ain't gonna stop that.
No, I don't disagree.
You just gonna create a depressed world with people trying to, if he do this, I'm going to jail. Bruh, that ain't gonna never happen.
I don't see that. That's what
a lot of sheltered children.
It's gonna be a lot of shelter. It's gonna be a lot of sheltered children. But I think the other part that we do take out of our society is that when we start talking about drinking and driving and domestic violence, the numbers come down. I think the one of the things that the stipulations and the guidelines and the boundaries do make us do as a society, it makes us more vigilant and aware of our actions. A lot of us drink, but we say, no, I got to cut it off. I got to take an Uber. I got to take this. I got to take that because of the rules for DWI and DUIs out there. So what I'm saying is, I don't think we will all do it, but I think a good number of us will take more responsibility. A lot of us are responsible. It ain't a lot of us that our kids is just walking around packing. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. This is not for everyone. This is for the.
But let me ask you this, Mark. When did and you don't have to give an exact answer, just a get close enough. How long have the laws been what they are for drinking and driving?
Since about 1988, the end of the 80s, right during before the crack epidemic.
So right there, end of the 80s, early 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or has drinking and driving ceased? Has
no
death by drunk drivers ceased?
No.
It hasn't stopped.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
That's what I was going to say. You're not going to have a lot of people. You're going to have some people are going to be on the brink of, man, I got to do this because I don't want to end up in jail. You're going to have some good parents take heed to that. But what I predict is you're going to have a lot of people in jail. People raise their kids by what they know. They raise their kids by how they were raised, regardless of what the rules are. You think that I don't know neglecting kids and stuff will get me in trouble? Why people still do it? Because that's what was done to them. Or that's how they grew up. People not going to change because you put a rule in effect. Why you think people back and forth in and out of jail? Because they're going to do what it is they're taught.
I agree, but and so here's the thing. I think the whole foundation for me is kids' involvement. I don't care. I'm not saying that adults won't do it, but the number for kids would go down further. That's
how many kids
not doing these infractions?
How many kids?
Yeah.
Well, how many kids
are the main people that don't care? They're gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah,
right. But that's what I'm saying. If
get in trouble because they know the consequences.
But that's what I'm saying. So I agree. But if the consequences weren't just you, if the consequences weren't just you by yourself,
unmute yourself.
You said what? What did you say, King?
So you think kids wouldn't do it because they care about their parents?
No, I'm saying, okay, let's say it like this.
That ain't the case.
My kid wouldn't get a car at 16, maybe.
See, that's you keeping them from getting the car. The kids are going to do what they want to do.
But that don't mean your kid won't be driving.
I don't disagree, but
not my own.
But Mark said they should quit their job. But Mark said they should quit their job so they can make sure they don't drive. So
boy,
now maybe they can't eat, but you know, that's Mark's word, baby.
Right, but at the same, I don't think you necessarily have to quit your job to be more involved. I don't think, like my parents were. No, you just got to be more in. To me, more involved is not present. It just means these laws stand a little higher. These things mean a little more. You having freedom means something. I knew that when I got a car, what I had to do. My dad told me, if you do any of these things, because you're still a minor, you got to answer to me. You got to answer to me and the law, but you really got to answer to me. And I think that one of the things is, somebody put it up there, a lot more parents are friendly to their kids. They buying their kids. And so I think it would turn, if you stop buying kids and if we start becoming more parents instead of babysitters, then we would, I think that would be a part of the change.
So you're saying people should be better parents, and I agree with that.
Right, but sometimes it's the law that makes them better parents.
You still gonna have those, and which I understand that. I think you said it earlier, Mark, that it's not a blanket thing. You're always
it's not an absolute fix.
Yeah, because
it won't make everything go away. Yeah, I think it would tone it down.
That don't mean I was an angel.
Right.
And that man did not play.
But if you knew your mama might go to jail for some of the stuff you'd have done, I think you would have probably, I guarantee you, I'm just saying, us who are cognitive and care about our family, if I knew my mama would have went to jail for some of that stuff, I probably wouldn't have done half of it.
Do you think that the pros will outweigh the cons?
Wait now, Kel. Last week you were gonna turn your mama in, Mark.
Yeah, I heard that. He was gonna send his mama to jail.
I would send her to jail, but if it was me or her, I would send her to jail. But if it was gonna be both of us, no, I'm not I'm not gonna do it. That's what I'm saying. If the thought was to go to jail and it's not me just going to jail, it's me and my mama. No, bro, I'm not gonna do it, number one. But a damn sure not gonna do it and get my mama locked up. Bro, think about it. Think about this. Just think about it. You out driving, you done had a little much to drink, or your first time you hanging with your friends, after a football game and they give you something to drink and you get pulled over and you 16, 17, you almost there, and your mama now has to go and do 90 days with you, boy, that'd be the last. You talk about it.
I'm gonna say this, Mark. I agree with the fact that some logical thinking people, it will slow them down a little bit. However, I feel like the cons will outweigh the pros if you try to enforce these type of rules, because if I'm a parent and I'm actually a decent parent, now I got to go to jail for what my knucklehead son did. What I look like doing 90 days in jail when I got a career, when I got a job. Like, that's right, but the cons are gonna out. I get what you're saying. It may help a little. It may help some kids say, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna kind of keep moms from going. I'm gonna do the right thing because I don't want them to go down with me. So it may help a little bit. It might be a 20% change on the good end, but a 70% change on the bad end, because now you're just sending all kind of people to jail. So
well,
I
think it's a future. It has to be for the future. It can't be a current one.
The future's finna get worse. So you should have said that should have been for the past, like back in the day, not for the future. Boy, everybody gonna be in jail.
Right. Or people ain't got no kids.
These kids don't care about themselves. They don't care about authority. They don't care about nothing.
No.
So they're gonna be sending all kind of.
But that's what I'm saying, Kev. So that's a part of what I'm saying. Because these kids don't care, guess what'll stop happening? We'll stop having these little kids. So that's what I'm saying.
I think it's fighting and fornicating. That ain't stopping.
I think.
Hey, the price of rubbers went up sky high. So people ain't gonna stop having kids. I promise.
I'm gonna tell you. You know what I didn't understand when our parents told us not to have sex when we was young? What? They didn't explain the other end of it. They weren't talking about don't have sex because you're too young for it. What they didn't say is they didn't put in the financial aspect of it. See, if you
still don't put it in.
No, right. But if you put it in, if I was to tell my daughter, hey, when you have kids and if they get a DUI, you're gonna do 90 days, I guarantee you it'll be a lot longer before she has kids.
I work with high school kids. They don't. If you tell them the world finna end tomorrow, kids are gonna do what they want to do. I'm telling you the way they think.
Yeah, but let's say this. It only apply. Let's just say this rule applies to kids that are 10 and under, because yours are lost. Yours riding in the car with Carly, telling her, "Yeah, girl, that looked like a baby. Get out the car." So I get the kids you work with.
You're talking about the smaller kids.
I'm saying I'm saying it would have to be for a future generation, and you would have to give enough time for people to, understand the law, tighten it down, get it, grips. It cannot apply to kids who are in their teens now. It would have to apply to parents who have kids that, let's just say, 5 and under. And, if you have 5 and under, this law starts to go and we start to do it. It absolutely can't do it for now. My daughter was smoking weed way too early. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already in jail. I'm already got to go to jail. And it was me being a cool parent. So I know something about being a cool parent. That's what I'm saying. I think if I would have known what was going to happen, then I would have probably if I'd have known that her getting that might send me to jail. Oh no, brother.
You saying you should have took this advice.
But how would you stop her from smoking with her friend though at the sleepover that you're not even there?
That's what I'm saying. If she would have known, if she would have thought for the possibility that her mom or I would go to jail, I think her love for us, I'm pretty sure her love for let's say this, Kev. Okay, as a daddy, she'd allowed her up a peace pipe. For her mama, she may not look.
Hey, listen, society and peer pressure gonna outweigh all that. I'm telling you.
You already know, Mark. Kids feel like, and adults do too. We all feel like we can get away with it though. So even though she loves y'all, she gonna be thinking, I'm not gonna get caught. I'm just gonna hit it a couple times.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not. And again, I think it would tighten up a couple of us. Let's just say this. Right now, 30% of the society don't do it already. 20% of the society would probably be more vigilant or more sneaky to do it. Another 20% of the society would stop doing it. And then we still have that last ones that Kev work with. They don't give a fuck.
Hey, I'm gonna make the statement and ask you a question. Society and peer pressure outweighs parenting, like every day. Okay, so and who does something that they don't think they'll get away with? I know I'm gonna get caught smoking weed and my parent, but I'm gonna do it anyway. No, just like King said, they think they're gonna get away with it. So when they get caught, you think they're gonna say, give me another chance? No. And you can talk to your kid till she blue in the face. Listen, this is what we do to you. Don't smoke weed, but all this music she listen to, and then when she go with her friends, they're gonna be like, when she see they looking cool doing it, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be a lot of folks in jail.
Then you know what? That's what I'm saying. If I was to do it, the law would be called the Mark James St. Patrick Jr. Law, because that joker had us. Listen, I'm telling you, the way he had us. My pops went away for about 3 years, and we was still cleaning up like that joker was coming home. I'm just saying. I think the way he was on us. And because my dad, he was, I would say, a real strict, and he meant it. And you knew, like, he's a contractor. So one of the things that I think that instilled in us is he would pop up to manage his job. I think one of the problems is our parents now give out the task and they don't manage their kids. And so that's what I'm saying. I think it would encourage or elicit more oversight over their kids, more interaction, more checking that book bag, more where you at? Let me see your face. Let me see the whites of your eyes. Let me piss test you. Whatever I got to do to be more of a parent. I think some people just wouldn't do it unless it involved risk for them. You know what I'm saying? That's the part I'm thinking. Those parents.
I get what you're saying. Like I said, it'll affect some rational, halfway, slightly mature people in a positive way. But I just think that overall the cons will outweigh the pros in the long run. But I get what you're saying. We need something. We're so far gone. You know, we've let the leash go too far or whatever. I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely going to affect some, but I don't think it's going to affect enough on a grand
scale. Oh no, locks are for honest people. Lock the people who want to do it. Oh, they gonna find a way. They gonna fool the cops, whatever they can.
Because the people over in Japan, they're used to these rules, even though they may be a little harsh. They're used to it, so they abide by them. They say, "Hey, I know these people around me will get in trouble for." In the grand scheme of things, they halfway abide by those. People in America be looking at you like you're crazy if you're trying to start them. They're not used to nothing like that.
Right, and that's why I said it would be for us. We done. It's a wrap. It's like older people putting on seatbelts. They didn't have seatbelts, sucker, so they don't put on seatbelts. Yeah. We get to put on seatbelts. Now the next thing you know, it's gonna be your car's electric, and it's gonna tell the police you ain't got on the seatbelt, and you're gonna get the ticket on the way to work. So, I mean, it's coming. They gonna monitor us.
Yeah. All right, now let's get on. I ain't even gonna go into no more hot topics because I think that one was hot enough. That was hot enough. Any final things to say about the Carlee Russell situation?
Don't lie, lady.
I'm gonna say in conclusion, you did something and it backfired on you. But for every action, there's a reaction. So something's gonna happen, and you kind of gotta pay the piper for doing this. Even though her action, it could have been a huge response or a little response, but still, even for that action that you did, something gotta happen. I don't hope they throw the book at her. I don't hope she get 5 years in prison or something. But she needs something to make a statement for anybody who's even considering getting the law involved over a lie. That's a no-no. The law got to handle other way more important stuff than dealing with you lying about being abducted. So I say maybe at least some probation or maybe a couple months in prison or maybe a year, something. She got to get something.
Yeah, because she's not the first person to do something like this on you know, it's some people that have done it on even a larger scale. Like, who was it? Susan Smith that killed their kids and said a black
Yeah.
man abducted them and did it. You know what I mean? So this Carly wasn't the first one, and she ain't gonna be the last one. She ain't gonna be the last one, bro. They can give her 10, 15 years and she won't be the last one.
My
All right,
final
Mark,
thoughts on
closing
the matter.
remarks about Carly.
My closing remarks would be, Your Honor, is to say that this ought to be a good wake-up call for us as a society to start inspecting what women say. I think for a long time, we, you know, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to society and things that happen, I think between this, Megan Thee Stallion, I think it's time to start investigating the stories being told. Everybody, the whole nation jumped on the story, and now we're between her and Jesse Smollett. They have now just showed us all these stories need to really be investigated. They need to be, you know, ironed out before we make decisions. As a community, we tend to side with women right off the top. I hear this, it goes there, and I think regardless of whatever happens to her, when you hear the next story, instead of us jumping to social media and either jumping on the person's side or demonizing the person, let's wait till we get the information. When you hear that woman tell you, "Oh, he cheated on me and did this," and let's hear why he cheated on you. Let's hear the conversations from both sides, because I think this for me has made me question all stories. I'm not going with the story until I hear it, especially if there's a baby involved. If there's a baby, Cheez-Its, and a robe involved, I don't believe you. You might as well say for real, and we done. But for me, I think as a society, we need to start questioning what people say more before we jump to support and back people or demonize people when it comes to public opinion and the court of public opinion.
I definitely agree. My ending take on it is, anytime something happens, I say simply just follow your heart. Follow your spirit. If you want to pray for somebody when you hear a story, go on and pray for that person. If you want to feel bad for them and all of that, do that. Going above and beyond with criticism or with praise should be reserved for when you know the facts of any story. Vonnie said, what about peanut butter crackers? Now, if it's peanut butter crackers, we got a whole nother conversation to Darren talk about, because ain't no joker just Darren stealing no peanut butter crackers unless they're gonna be gone for a minute. But
Right.
Yeah, with that particular case though, I think at the end of the day, it's sad as far as women go, because especially black women, it's so hard for support to come their way anyway. And to where something happens, whether it's child support, whether it's cheating, whether it's being abducted or anything, it's already in slow motion when it comes to belief, support, help. So it makes it even worse when you do have somebody that totally fabricates a story, and not only fabricates, but when you get wind that the fabrication came just out of spite, just because you upset with one individual, you get a whole lot of other people involved. So I say, follow your heart when it comes to that kind of stuff. And people, men and women alike, and young people, do not go to this extreme to sell a lie. It's just, it's not worth it. The repercussions and the consequences is just not worth it. And when Mark runs for any kind of Congress, presidency, anything like that, you my boy, but I will not be voting for you.
No, I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna just lobby. I'm gonna be a lobbyist. I'm gonna lobby for my laws. You're gonna put them in all. I'm gonna actually get Herschel Walker to run on on the presidency ticket, and I'm gonna just tell him what to say.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but hey, I thank everybody that watched on YouTube, Facebook, and all the Wisdom App listeners. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please go like and subscribe to the channel. Go subscribe to Brown Roots. And Kev gave you all his info, but Kev, give him the info again before we get out of here.
Kev Evans on Wisdom. Like I said, I kind of been dipping and dabbing on there a little lately. I actually kind of enjoy that app. Mr. Evans on Facebook. You know, I got kind of put up what I got going on there from time to time. I'm not a big social media junkie, but I've been doing a little bit better. So yeah, that's where you can find me at. But other than that, I don't do too much of the social media.
Yeah, you stay clear of it. I hear you.
Yeah.
But y'all, we will not be doing Smooth Saturdays this Saturday, and we will not be doing it next Saturday. And I will not be doing King Shit Talk next Thursday, but we will reconvene with everything that we've been doing the week after next. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Be full of love and spread that love too. And we'll get at y'all another time. Appreciate you, Mark. Appreciate you, Kev.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Peace out, y'all.